Welcome to the Mary Potter podcast. This week, we're doing a magical probe into two really wild stories of magic and fantastic creatures from the wizarding world of flash fiction. So get ready to explore these hidden tournaments, daring illusions, and some truly unexpected power. Oh, and don't forget to rate and follow the show if you want to hear more captivating stories from the Mary Potter podcast.
Sounds like we've got quite a contrast ahead of us, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Two flash fiction stories, both rooted in this concept of illusion, but each unfolding in completely different settings.
Yeah.
One is this shadowy high-stakes competition, the other like a societal struggle where how people see things, how they perceive things is really challenged.
Okay, so let's jump right into the first story, Illusionist's Gambit. Right away, you're thrown into this secret tournament all about magic and mentalism. And the main character is Kai. She's a teenage illusionist who's there for a very personal reason. She isn't after glory or anything like that. She's desperately trying to find her missing sister. And from what we know about this tournament, it's a brutal test where nothing is what it seems.
Oh, I see.
Survival seems to be the only prize that really matters, at least at the beginning.
You know, the thing that struck me right off the bat was how different Kai's skills are from what you'd typically expect in a magic competition.
Uh-huh.
We hear about competitors with these incredible powers, telepathy, pyrokinesis, some can even shapeshift.
Oh, wow.
But Kai, she relies on these subtle techniques, sleight of hand and misdirection. It makes you wonder, how can these seemingly minor skills hold up against that kind of raw magical power?
That's where the story gets really interesting, and it starts delivering those aha moments you mentioned you'd like. Kai doesn't try to fight fire with fire, you know. She
Right.
tackles these challenges by carefully observing and understanding the weaknesses of her opponents and even the creatures she comes across. She's using deception as her main weapon almost. Like, take how she handles the creature guarding that artifact.
Yeah.
You'd think she'd need a powerful spell or have to fight it head on.
Right.
But Kai, she figures out what it really needs, food, it's hungry, and uses something as simple as a piece of jerky to get past it. Others probably saw it as this impossible magical barrier, but she finds a different way.
It's really interesting, isn't it, that sometimes understanding basic needs can be much more effective than brute force or showing off how powerful you are.
Absolutely. Then there's that shifting labyrinth. It sounds like an absolute nightmare to navigate. I can just imagine the other contestants trying to blast their way through walls, probably causing all sorts of magical chaos.
Yeah.
But Kai, she does the opposite. She goes back looking for some kind of pattern. It's like she sees it not as a magical maze, but as a puzzle, carefully designed to trick you.
Right.
One of the sources even calls it a meticulously crafted deception where the real goal, that locked chest, is hidden within all the seeming chaos.
It becomes a metaphor for the whole tournament, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The obvious traps, the dead ends, they're the illusions,
Yeah.
distracting everyone from the simpler, less obvious path to the goal. It really shows how Kai can think beyond what's right in front of her.
Exactly.
She figures out how the challenge works instead of just reacting to all the magical spectacle.
But as the story goes on, the stakes get way higher. With every challenge Kai overcomes, these unsettling rumors start popping up. Past competitors haven't just lost, they've completely disappeared.
Wow.
And then comes this really shocking revelation. The ultimate prize isn't some powerful object or unimaginable riches. It's the competitors themselves. Their magical energy is being secretly drained for some dark purpose.
That brings in a whole new level of danger, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not just a test of skill anymore. It's a fight to survive against this hidden exploitative system.
Right.
The competitors are actually fueling the very thing that's threatening to destroy them without even knowing it.
And then there's that twist about her sister, Kira. That was a real shocker. She's not a prisoner like we thought she was.
Cool.
She's one of the wardens, actively creating the illusions that keep the other competitors trapped.
No way.
It makes you think about their relationship in a whole new way, all the difficult choices and sacrifices they might have to make.
It definitely makes things more complicated, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It raises all these questions about what someone is willing to do or who they're willing to become when they're under pressure or when they think they're doing something for the greater good.
Right. So we get to the final confrontation, and you'd expect this big magical duel, all these flashy spells flying around. But Kai, true to herself, does something totally different. She exposes the truth. She directly addresses the people behind this deadly game, the cloaked figures, and asks them this really powerful question. What greater illusion than making monsters vanish?
It's a brilliant move. She's not trying to overpower them with magic.
Right.
She's going after the very thing that gives them control, the story they've built around the tournament. By pointing out that people have vanished, she's making those who benefit from the illusion doubt, and maybe even fear the organizers.
And then there's this really clever, almost understated thing she does. Instead of some big spell, she lights this old gas lamp that everyone seems to have forgotten about. It's such a small detail, but the explosion it causes has this ripple effect, messing up the magical energies that hold the illusions together, both literally and symbolically.
That gas lamp is a great detail, because
Right.
it's so ordinary.
Right.
It highlights how Kai relies on her understanding of the physical world, of cause and effect, not just magic. It reminds us that sometimes the most effective tools are the ones we overlook, the seemingly mundane things that can disrupt even the most complex systems.
And when she finally finds Kira, it's bittersweet, according to the sources. There's no big celebration, just a relief of survival. And Kai's goal isn't to win some made-up prize. She wants to escape and bring the whole operation down from the outside. It's a different way of looking at victory, isn't it?
It is.
Sometimes winning isn't about getting something for yourself within a system that's messed up. It's about getting rid of that system altogether.
It's a much deeper kind of victory and ultimately more meaningful. Kai is trying to fix the root of the problem, which offers a more lasting solution.
Okay, so let's shift our magical probe to a completely different part of the wizarding world.
Okay.
Our second story, the Mirage Master, takes us to this desert oasis city called Alazim.
Alazim.
There we meet Tariq, who's kind of an outcast. He's an illusionist, but the society values water magic above everything else. So his illusions are seen as just tricks, nothing compared to the abilities of the water mages.
It's a clear example of a social hierarchy built around magical ability. One type of magic isn't just preferred. It actually determines your place in society.
Yeah.
Tariq being marginalized shows how dangerous those rigid systems can be and how people underestimate certain skills when they're seen as inferior.
But as you often see in these stories, everything changes in an instant. A mirage of this amazing emerald-armored warrior suddenly becomes real. And when that happens, Tariq gains this totally unexpected and incredible power. He's not just creating shimmering images in the sand anymore.
Right.
His illusions are now solid, forming a spectral army that he commands.
That's a huge turning point for him.
That is.
The very thing that made him an outcast, his illusion magic, becomes the source of his incredible power.
Exactly.
This change from fleeting images to a real spectral force challenges how everyone understands magic in their society. It suggests that there's more to illusion magic, a hidden potential, maybe even forgotten over time.
And then Tariq starts hearing these mysterious whispers. Last mirage, master.protector.oasis dying. It's obvious he's being called to fulfill some ancient destiny, to take on a responsibility he never wanted.
Yeah.
At first, he's hesitant, and I don't blame him.
Right.
He spent his whole life being dismissed.
Yeah.
To suddenly be told he's supposed to save everyone and using the very abilities people scoffed at, it must be a lot to process.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Those whispers also hint at a whole hidden history. A lineage of Mirage Masters, suggesting that Tariq's powers aren't just random talents, but part of something much bigger, a magical tradition that maybe people don't understand anymore.
It's like uncovering a lost legacy.
Exactly. The story really takes off as Tariq starts to figure out these new powers, this spectral army, the emerald heartstone appearing. It all paints this vivid picture of this hidden magical legacy.
It does.
And his conflict with the water mages is really interesting. Even though their magic is failing, and the oasis is starting to die, they still hold on to their prejudice. They dismiss Tariq and his power. It shows how deeply ingrained bias can be and how heroes can come from the most unexpected places. You mentioned liking different perspectives, and this story definitely shows how different types of magic are seen and valued within a society.
The fact that the water mages keep rejecting Tariq, even when it's clear their magic isn't working and the oasis is in danger, says a lot about how blinding prejudice can be. It shows the arrogance that can come with power that's been in place for a long time.
Right.
They can't see the potential in a different kind of magic, even when their own is failing. It makes you think about how inflexible societies can be.
Absolutely. And then we get to the climax, where Tariq, now wielding these real illusions, faces off against the water mages. The image of the sandstorm engulfing the central fountain, the very source of their water magic, is really powerful.
Yeah, it is.
It visually shows the shift in power, how Tariq, the outcast, might be their only hope. It's another one of those aha moments, seeing how something that was once thought of as worthless can become crucial.
That sandstorm is a strong symbol of Tariq using the very elements of his environment. That harsh desert that probably shaped his unique magic to challenge the water mages.
Right.
It shows how you can find strength and power in the things that might seem like limitations.
Exactly. By the end, Tariq, who was once laughed at, has this almost scary power. The crowd that mocked him now looks at him with awe, maybe even a little fear, but definitely respect.
Yeah.
He's not an outsider anymore. He's their potential savior. It's really satisfying to see this character who was marginalized rise to such unexpected heights using the very skills that once made him different.
It's a classic underdog story. Someone discovers this incredible potential within themselves. It reminds us that true power and value can often be found in unexpected people and unconventional skills.
Absolutely.
Tariq's journey shows us that we should look beyond appearances and question those established ideas about what's valuable or powerful.
So in this magical probe, we've traveled through this mysterious mystics tournament and the shimmering sands of Al-Azim. In Illusionist's Gambit, we saw how intelligence and understanding human nature can be more powerful than raw magic. And we saw those incredibly complex family bonds when faced with extreme danger.
It does make you think.
What does real victory mean? What sacrifices are made in the pursuit of truth?
And in The Mirage Master, we got this compelling story of an outcast who finds amazing power in the thing that made him different. It makes you think about all the hidden potential in the world and the courage it takes to go against what society expects. How often do we miss valuable skills or unique perspectives just because they don't fit in with what we think is important or powerful?
Both of these stories, even though they're set in these fantastical worlds, offer insights into deception and truth, belonging and exclusion, and the different ways we see power.
They really do.
I hope this magical probe has sparked your imagination and given you some new things to think about. What other hidden magics might be out there, waiting for someone to discover their true potential?
Yeah.
What kind of mirage might hold unexpected power if we dared to explore it? Keep exploring flash fiction and the endless possibilities of the wizarding world. And don't forget to rate and follow the Mary Potter Podcast for more captivating tales.